Hello, everybody. Thanks for listening. I'm so glad you managed to make it.
Uh,
Look who's come here. Heck, finally. Can you hear us?
yeah, fucking, I had to restart my phone because,
Oh, yeah, I also have to do that. Let's
oh yeah,
work from here on out. But Anchor is a nice app. Just doing some advertising here because they do work out pretty well. And
well,
so,
somewhere we aren't famous yet. I mean, let's take it easy.
no,
Speaking of, did you start up the monetization on here?
of course I did. Why do you think I'm not playing Sound of Silence? Until they pay us. I need
Nice.
YouTube money.
Sweet podcast money.
Yes. Then
So,
you
I mean, we're gonna snip a little bit of the intro anyways, right? So,
That's what you think.
yeah, well,
But you
well, I
would
mean,
be
I'm
wrong.
assuming, have
Come,
you
we're not. We're
guys?
just gonna start like this, and I will literally play the entire podcast,
Oh,
which
goodness.
is not at all because I don't know how to cut things on my phone. It's clearly because I want to have a nice, happy introduction. Talking
Of course, want to give them the full experience.
drawn to us, with a profile picture drawn by us, and ideas drawn from us, where we discuss various topics to draw you in. I hope you're having a great time. Good morning, evening, afternoon. And this is our first official episode, which we are recording. A lot of people have actually been requesting this, so I'm quite exhilarated to announce our start as a kind of official podcast. And let's just
Woo!
introduce
Hey,
ourselves. You go first, Impy.
Hi. Next.
Wow,
perfect. Short,
that is
sweet, and simple.
first impressions really matter, and I also would like my first impression to be next. Just vibe. You want to involve people. I'm sure everybody will love you for that.
Okay, well, my name is the Mighty Hecate, or the Mighty Heck for short, and I'm a digital artist who dabbles in comics and writing, and you know, I mean, I'm sure you've already heard of me, right? I mean, everybody here has heard of me already, right?
Oh yes, they do. You have what,
Yeah, of
Twitter,
course.
Instagram? I don't know what else you have. You have way more social media than me.
Yeah,
And
I know. I try to cast a wide net, and then just never get any attention.
oh, don't no, you got more than plenty attention, my mate. For me, I am the host of Drawn to Us today because the other one's hosting abilities are fallible because their stuff keeps
How dare you?
fall or summertime, which is how I will be addressed in this because everybody knows me as summertime and I'm usually called summertime in anything that is online. So I just dropped my bottle cap, which is not how I'm paying for stuff because we're not at Fallout, right? But it is how I stop my bottle from spilling out. And yeah, bottle caps are really nice, which is an entirely unrelated thing. And you'll find me doing that quite a lot of times, just going off on a small tangent. But I will try to get back to the main point. So we've all three decided to do this podcast because we started a new art server after our old one, which had over 1,000 people in it, has unfortunately
Goodness.
been hacked or given over. We're not quite sure,
That's another podcast topic, Summer.
but we've been able to create our new server, and it's awesome because we can just work on everything. And it's so nice and lovely. I really like the people on there. So yeah, as for today's topic, we will be talking about preparation, and clearly, for such an important and big topic, none of us have prepared anything because this was prompted by us not being able to do our original topic. So, guys, who remembers what we originally wanted to discuss this weekend?
Something Charles Bukowski.
We
Okay,
were originally discussing, from the brief description you gave, it was overarching goals in life and how we can consider them realistic and unrealistic
Oh, jeez, I'm
and
glad we're not doing that.
general purpose. I
and
thought that would have been fun.
go ahead.
We'll do that eventually because it sounds fun.
I mean, sure. we can tag on in next week, right? Because this podcast is weekly, yo.
Oh yeah, we host weekly. You did not expect that, or maybe you did. I don't know. You probably did. Most of you should know that we host weekly by now, because we keep announcing it over and over. If you don't,
Yes.
well, now you do. And so yeah, we should be able to do this next week, which also means we have one more week for us to prepare for this, because it's a really important topic in my opinion, goals and dreams and such not. So I have actually been considering whether we want to split the topic up into 2 episodes, because one episode is probably
Ooh.
not enough time to fill, or not enough time to talk about all the things we want to talk about. And talking is nice as preparation. I know
Well,
it's really short notice, but how would you guys talk about preparation in a general sense? Is there anything you would like to start off with? Heck,
I mean, you know me, so I'm never prepared for anything. I
yes,
mean,
you are.
the way I looked at life is always just you kind of roll with the punches, you know. You do stuff spontaneously, and I mean, so far that has always worked out for me at least. I'm like the type of person who likes to overthink a lot. And if I actually got into preparing, you know, then I feel like I would make myself crazy trying to plan every little detail and, you know, create plans for things that might never happen at all. So it's just personally for me so much easier to just go with the flow.
It
But
makes
then
it
at the
so
same
much
time,
easier. And there's a lot to unpack here, so let me just take some notes
oh, sure.
to be able to remember that. So there we go. We have overthinking,
Okay,
and then we
is
have,
Summer still here?
yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Is he
Um,
is he speaking?
Yes,
he is
I am.
speaking, Impy.
I think your
Oh,
connection is just kind
so
of.
I have totally lost his voice.
Oh no,
Oh,
I think
beautiful.
your
You're
connection is a
both
little
talking at the same.
not working anymore.
Can you can anybody tell this is the first official podcast?
Well, clearly we're very professional.
Hey, hey,
Professional,
Summer.
professional.
I
Oh,
Yeah,
there
can't,
we go.
which
See, the
is
fun part
weird.
is
you
Summer
can't
can
hear
hear
me.
you.
Well, that's just perfect. You know, guys, heck, you can translate him. What I will do
Oh
is
yeah, sure.
podcast right now, so we can see whether we're actually able to save the recording, and then I will start a new one, and we'll just go on from here. Oh,
Oh well, that now MP has died. We'll be right back. You know.
first and
Technical
hopefully will
difficulties.
be. I mean, people
Technical
undying is
difficulties.
really nice. And so, to get back to the topic at hand, we have been, you have mentioned overthinking or over planning, and look who's
Ah,
back.
I'm back.
Can you
Yeah.
hear
Perfect.
me?
Yes.
For working together. And Impy, since you're actually connected to us again, let's further that connection by having you talk about your own ideas of preparation.
Okay. What did I miss though? Did you say anything important?
No, nothing at all.
Do we ever?
Yes, we do.
Oh, there we go.
Especially you guys.
Yeah, especially us. Me
Clearly.
Yeah.
especially. Yes, I say
Yes.
lots
I
of
have
important
Dude,
a very
things.
big smarts.
should we hear MP's opinions on preparation before we continue?
Yes, I mean, we do
Yeah.
kind of need something to shit on.
Oh my
Like what?
God, Summer. Jesus.
No, I'm sorry, MP. Go ahead. I'm sure you'll have some great opportunities and great opinions because I kind of know you as a person, and I believe you have quite a unique take on these things. So let us know. Share your thoughts and
Oh.
feelings.
Okay, well that bar is a little too high. Preparation. Super important. I'm done. No, okay.
Wow.
Ah, short
So
and sweet.
you are the only one of us who has a semi or entirely permanent job, and
Yes.
you know how often you have to prepare there. Because if I remember correctly, you also had to meet someone today, one of your customers, and I was kind of wondering whether you had to prepare anything for that, how much you had to prepare. Would you mind telling us a little story?
Sure. If we want to go about, I mean, preparation, especially in landscaping, is super important because you always, and like a bunch of other careers, you always have to go out to the job site. You have to talk to the customer. What do you want exactly? You have to start preparing like questions, and you have to convey everything to them, and you have to convey like what the final product is going to look like to the best of your abilities, so they can understand what's in both your heads, and that like preparation is key. I've lost jobs because I didn't prepare. I've lost jobs because I didn't know how to prepare,
Oh
and
my.
I've done great jobs because we prepared correctly.
Right. So, first of all, landscaping in this case sounds like an interview because you have to prepare questions, know the person, know the job, and a sales pitch because you'll have to make them understand what the final product is going to be. You have to make them want it, I suppose. And you also
Yeah.
want to end up having that sale. It's actually far more intriguing than I made it out to be so far. Thank you for sharing that. As
Oh,
for my own, go ahead.
I can say something about art too.
Yes, you
Oh
will.
my.
It's around art on my areas of expertise. Like I am going to be building a guitar over the winter,
Oh my. What
and let me
prompted you?
tell you,
Let
what
me
was that?
ask you first. What prompted you to build a guitar?
Well, I play the guitar. I
Yes, you
have
do.
That is a good reason.
Well,
I built one before. I don't know if you guys remember seeing the pictures I sent, but I
yes,
built one
vaguely.
before in about 2 weeks, and it's not good. I'm looking at it as my practice build. Then a couple weeks ago, I got a big old piece of marble. I was really looking for something to do with it, and just making a guitar and having some form of marble inlays in it, I thought would just be incredibly cool. And let me tell you, I am not going to start a single thing without having every little bit of that guitar planned down to the smallest detail, because you really need to know everything that you're doing well before you go into it.
Huh.
Yeah.
So there is three things I'll have to talk about. I'll start with the easiest one. That is, how did you end up getting a giant piece of marble?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too. It seems like a little bit of a strange thing. It's like, how does that interaction happen?
Believe it or not, it's not common, but it's things of like this have happened because with our landscaping company, we're occasionally asked to help people move things, and generally, if it's an older person, they're gonna be like, let's just throw that out. We're done with that. Here, do you guys want this free piece of furniture? So sometimes it turns out that we get like a few trash cans full of toys for like for my nephew. Sometimes we get
Oh,
Your nephew gets
furniture.
full of toys.
Yeah,
see,
he
I
got
would have kept the toys and given the nephew the slab of marble.
yeah. So then we were helping somebody move, and they were just like, "Yeah, now take this." I said, "Thank you very much." So yeah,
Well, that ended up working out. So I'm getting
yeah.
more and more interesting stuff from landscaping, which I would have never expected. It's so nice to know people who do stuff in general. You know, guys, I would really recommend you to go out and talk to as many people as you can. Because I would not have expected Impy to be that cool uncle to his nephew. He brings bloody bags full of toys. And a second thing is, so your first build of the guitar did kind of suck, but that's alright because we can see it as a practice build, as a preparation for actually building that marvelous marble guitar.
Yeah, I think
Now
we must have
we'll be moving
thrown up
on.
some pictures, right?
Oh, what? Oh,
We
yes.
probably,
Right.
yeah, we probably threw up some pictures in the actual video.
Oh, yes,
Like,
we will
wabam.
actually do a time-lapse drawing of either me or one of our members, whichever works best, but I believe it will be a video at least. I've already been recommended 2 audio plays to play while we have our podcast in the background, and I can't quite get the point of this because, we are doing a podcast, we're talking. I do not want this to turn into random music, for now, anyways. Maybe
For
occasionally
now.
we'll bless
Maybe
us
when we give up.
with guitar after it's built. Heck, I have
Yes.
been doing this. So there's, first of all, planning is not quite the same as preparation, because preparation is, mm, we'll have to get into that later because I don't want
No,
to take up the chunk right
I
now.
see what you mean, though. I
Trying to
mean,
plan is not
it's
quite the same thing as preparation for now. And the second thing is, you mentioned that you tend to overthink a lot. And
yes.
you also mentioned this was kind of an issue for you, which it often at times is. Not all the time, but often.
Mm,
So you would not quite want to prepare because you'd end up preparing for way too many things. My
mm.
question is, because I believe a lot of people tend to overthink, how do you avoid overthinking about situations and trying to prepare for them beforehand?
Well, that's an interesting question, and that actually the answer ties into your whole conflict between preparation and planning. I mean, I feel like, you can plan for things exactly the way Impy plans for things, having a step-by-step method and knowing what you're going to do when you're going to do. But preparation seems to be almost more like a mindset more than it is a set of steps to take. Like if I feel well enough, if I can stop myself from overthinking by just saying that I won't know what's going to happen and that's all right, and then just being able to say that whatever is going to happen, it's not going to be too bad that I won't be able to deal with it, that in a way has made me mentally prepared for whatever troubles I'm going to face throughout the day. And that really helps me when I go out and I see opportunities like, I don't know, like the Christmas time is coming up, 'tis the season to be jolly or
Yes,
whatever. Yeah,
quite.
and
I can already feel the joy spreading through my body.
and the thing is, as a real life example, recently I just went out and I wasn't planning to buy any Christmas gifts whatsoever, but I just happened to wander into a store nearby because I was looking for a nice little carving knife to buy, and I just didn't find the knife store I was trying to look for. So I started walking into all these random small stores, and I saw all these beautiful little trinkets and gifts, and I was just sure I'll buy some for like as gifts. And I did my Christmas shopping that day. I didn't plan to do it. I didn't prepare to do my Christmas shopping, but I just rolled with the punches, and now that's one chore less to do.
I have to say, I can agree that you did not plan to buy them. However, you did prepare because you brought money and you brought enough bags and time to get
Ah,
prepared
yes.
should it come up. So you have been preparing just to the bare minimum. And it's also really nice. And so there is two quotes I would like to start off my part of this podcast with. First of all, is there something you guys would like to talk about before that? Because it might take up some time.
I'm good. What about you, MP?
I'm good.
Yeah, you guys are awesome even. And so the first
Perfect.
one is that what's the quote? No, I'll have to remember. It's bugger me. But I believe it goes, a mage is one who prepares. Yes, that it is. So most people interpret this as something to do with fantasy, because mage, magic is not quite real,
Mm,
apparently. Heck, I know we all know you're into, or not into, you're researching about magic occasionally, but so far we have no
yes.
proof it's real. And mages are most probably not something you talk about on an everyday basis. So, of course, after you get into that, you kind of start to wonder, what's that quote to do with anything? Because we don't have any mages walking around, do we now? And my personal interpretation of this quote would be that proper preparation works like magic, because one of the most convoluted stories and one of the most disliked tropes in fantasy is something called a wizard did it, which is when you just use magic and say, the problem was solved by magic. I don't explain how
Nah,
it happened, but we
it's good.
solved the problem. And it really kills tension. Now, to refer this back to our world, if you're properly prepared, you are in the very situation that you can say, oh no, there's this problem coming up, but I've got the right preparations in place. So just like magic, I can make it disappear because I know how to deal with it. And it's not a big issue at all. And that is one of the nicest feelings in this world, just to be prepared, be ready. And that's the first quote. The second one being that the best things in life are never planned for, which is true. But here's the things. The best things in life are never planned for because they're a surprise. However, you do have to prepare for it. Because a lot of people struggle with finding their dream job or the dream relationship or the dream pet. I mean, obviously, cats are the dream pet because nothing can beat a cat.
Oh,
Let's
definitely.
right? Shut up. Nothing beats a cat. Uh, if these people are unprepared, then their great opportunity might come up. I mean, imagine you're just walking around and let's just say you're an artist for some reason. I wouldn't know why I'm talking about artists now, but yeah. And you go to nice conventions because clearly you're into some kind of art culture. And suddenly, at one of these conventions, somebody asks, "Oh, do you sell art? Would you be interested in in doing commissions for us?" And you think, "Oh, Dan, I'd love to do commissions for these guys. I love them. They've been creating my favorite games or novels or movies." But here's the thing: you didn't prepare for this, so you don't have a portfolio. You can't show them your work to kind of seal the deal, which is something you need to do as an artist.
Mm.
First thing I would really suggest is if you ever go out as an artist, just bring a small. Oh, Impi disconnected.
We've lost MP, but yeah, I
He
guess
will
this is
be
a great time
returning.
to advertise a little bit. See, every artist should have an online portfolio, just like I do on my Instagram
Oh,
at
you
the
do?
mighty hack _. Go check it out. It's really, really, yeah.
Intriguing, fascinating, and
There you go.
Instagram,
Thanks, Summer. Go check it out
of
at the
course.
mighty hack.
But
Everywhere. I'm everywhere at the mighty hack. Okay.
here's the thing: that's part of preparation. You have to be available because whenever you post any of your works, be it writing, be it drawing, be it music, or a bloody marble guitar,
Oh
you
my,
should not
Summer.
cough like I just did because it's not quite appealing towards people. What you should instead do is slap your name on it. Always have some way of people to find it because there's always a chance that your piece goes viral and everybody suddenly ends up knowing it. It happens all the time, usually with memes, but just as much with other pieces of art. And yes, I do consider memes art occasionally.
I do give my
If
thumbs up to all of that.
somebody then sees your pieces being created and they think to themselves, wow, that's really awesome. I want to know who made this. Maybe they even want to offer them a job. Welcome back, Impy. We're talking about getting your name onto everything that you post online and online portfolios for now, because it's
Like,
really important to have some way for people to find you. So always slap your name on it. Give the people a way to find you and reach out to you and give you more opportunities. That is preparation for success. And you can't be successful if you don't prepare for it. You can't. You cannot ever get anything unless you have some base level of preparation. So going back to the portfolios. Now imagine you have that portfolio and you show it to them. Then immediately they'll think, wow, that's somebody who's really well prepared. I think I'd love to work with them because you've shown
not if they
clear
see my portfolio.
plan ready for whatever arises. And that's something highly valuable in any type of work. So there is 3 things you need to do in any piece of work to really excel at it. And it's not something coming from me. I've heard it from Marshall Vendroff, who's heard it from somebody else, but I am trying to live by it. So the 3 points of success in business are, first of all, be a pleasure to work with. Just enjoy yourself, enjoy the people around you, make them enjoy themselves, and they will end up coming back to you because everybody likes enjoying themselves. It's just much better and more enjoyable if you enjoy yourselves. I've just repeated myself. I'm smart.
There we go. It's a nice
Sorry.
roundabout way of going about things.
Always be on time. Nobody likes to wait. And if you make somebody wait, you're showing them, I don't care about this enough to be on time. I'm not prepared for this kind of, how do you call it, of responsibility.
Responsibility. There we go.
Take care of a timetable. I'm not, and that just shows somebody, it's not going to be fun to work with them because I always have to run behind. They will start lagging behind, and it's just overall disingenuous if you're at a professional level of any kind and people have to run after you. So that's the second point. Just to repeat, first point, be a pleasure to work with. Second point, be on time. And for the third point, be great at what you do. No matter what it is, if you're great at it, even if you're not a pleasure to work with, people will run after you. They will need you because you're the best and everybody wants the best. I mean, we've
Yeah.
seen this happen time and time again. One highly important example is Dr. Seuss, who is one of the most well-renowned children books authors in this world. And most of his books have been getting movies, I believe. Some of them have even been getting multiple movies. And from what the people he's been working with tell us, he was really bad at work. So he was loud, screaming. Oh, not screaming. I'm not an expert, but he was a real distaste to work with. And here's the thing: they still kept going after him because he was Dr. Seuss, and everybody knew him because Dr. Seuss was awesome. He was great. And it's the same thing for the Star Wars movies, because apparently George Lucas was a really bad director, and he always kept interfering with the actors, making them literally say what he was saying, so there was no kind of creativity for them at all. And still, the Star Wars franchise is one of, if not the biggest science fiction franchise we currently have. So yeah, the 3 points in any business.
That would be a nice conversation topic.
You tell me the second one. Epi, have you been listening?
Yeah. I was not on time though, so
Oh, that's not a new to you. You have been getting some of the points I mentioned.
yeah.
So what we'll do now is just each of us tells one of the points, and mine is the first one: be a pleasure to work with. What's the second point?
The second point was no, I only remember the third one. No, wait, no, I
That's
remember
right.
the second one. Haha. The second one is always be on time. Haha.
Always be on time.
Always be on time. There we go.
And the
I
third
feel
one,
like
be on.
yes.
Third rule is be great at what you do.
Be
There we
great
go.
at your job. Yes, and you were great at your job. 'cause I
Thank
didn't
God we
remember
passed the
that.
test.
So yeah, on a smaller side note, remembering things is also one of the most important things in preparation, because it doesn't matter which kind of plans you have in preparation for whatever happens. If you can't remember them, they're not going to help you. So memory is an integral part of doing whatever you want to do. I think memory is just really us. It also
I think
makes you be a pleasant to work with, because you're working with somebody and they just remember your name, they're really interested in you, and they get you to tell you stories. They get you to tell them stories about yourself, and they just recall all of it, and you can talk to them like an old friend you've known for ages after a day. Wouldn't that be a pleasure to work with?
that would be nice. I
Yes,
mean, I feel like what this all really boils down to is, I mean, you really just have to make preparation part of your lifestyle,
Oh yes,
and you have to integrate it into everything you do. I mean, being a pleasure to work with, always being on time, being great at what you do. These are just things that, you should just be able to do naturally in day-to-day life. You shouldn't have to try to be prepared. You should just do these things and then you will be prepared as a result of them.
Yes, it all boils down to the focus, to the practice of building good habits. And that's a
Yes.
small side note. I believe most, if not all, things can be boiled down to, let's say, baseline 7 simple steps. One of them, build good habits, etc., etc. If you just do these things after forms, you will have the most incredible life anyone's ever seen. I have not been able to note them all down. Either way, that's preparation so far. And here's one more.
Hey. Someone's gotten really loud.
Yes, it is heck.
Is it
Oh,
me?
we stopped
Sorry,
now.
is it like me dragging cables across the floor?
Why are you dragging
Yeah.
tables across the floor?
I'm trying to grab the charger. I didn't think it would be heard. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, guys.
Didn't you prepare your phone?
Oh my god. Okay, my headset is also running out of energy. All right. Okay. See. Okay. Small rundown on what happened. Right. Uh,
Yeah.
so I get home, and I'm like, oh, what's it? The podcast is in 5 hours. I'll take a small nap. I'll just charge my phone while I do that. And then, I put my phone on the table, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll just watch one YouTube video on my laptop before I go to sleep. And I don't have Wi-Fi here, so I use my mobile data to
Ouch.
look up stuff on my laptop. And then, my phone ran out of energy, so I'm like, God damn it, I have to charge it before the podcast. So I charge it, and then, I'm like, oh, God damn it, 5 hours are up already. I've been watching YouTube this whole time. I get in bed, and then,
With your
like I
mobile
said,
data even. Oh no.
I had to deal with like crying people in my apartment as well. It's like it's a whole thing. And I didn't have time to charge my headset. It's just everything's falling apart. Oh no.
Oh, yeah. So
No,
let me.
this is perfect though, because it's an example of not preparing.
I don't,
That's just
I'm
when
no.
life falls apart and everybody's apartment starts crying because clearly they need
What?
to
I can't have this be people's first impression of me. Oh no.
So, what do you guys remember about Impy? Next. What do you guys remember about Nick? Well, he didn't charge his bloody phone for 5 hours. What do you guys remember about Summer?
Oh no.
Nick, really? But yeah, that's just how things go. Heck, let me ask you a question, and then Impy gets to share his awesome story with us. Those
Okay,
YouTube,
sure.
were they worth it?
What
The
worth
YouTube
it?
videos you
What?
watched, would you say that was absolutely worth lacking sleep over? That was worth the mobile data? That was worth not charging my.
Mm. Well, I feel like it would be better if I said no, but it was pretty good.
Oh, it's not better if you say no. It's always better to be honest.
Ah,
Because
see,
here's what
that's another fun lesson I have to unlearn.
were you watching? And well, yes, it is a bad habit you have to unlearn. We can already see how it's not all gray, black and white. There's some gray parts in between. Because very often people end up thinking, "Oh no, I can't allow myself any leisure time at all. I need to work, work, work." And it is a good base mentality, but you need to spice it up some with I also need to relax and take care of myself. I believe these videos were you taking care of yourself because they did help you feel better, did they? Didn't they?
Oh yeah, they did. Of course they did. I mean, it was a nice way to just kick back a little bit. Had to run around the whole day running errands. So it is like the end of the day treat when you kind of just like sit back, you have your cup of tea or soda or whatever you like to drink in the evenings, and then you just let go and you just have a good laugh at all the stupid stuff going on, and it's
Oh
fun.
yes, silly cat videos. So, MP, you wanted to share something with us.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Perfect.
When did I say that?
Just before I started asking him questions about his day and his YouTube videos. But that's all
Well,
right.
clearly your memory is better than mine.
Yes, because I've been doing a course with Jim Quick, which is I believe it's called Super Brain, and it just helps enhance your memory and your whole lifestyle and everything. And I'm so looking forward to it. Starts on the 16th of December, runs till 1st or 3rd of January, and it's going to be 20 minutes every day. And I really look forward to it. I think it's going to be one of the best things I've done for myself this entire year, and that is
That's another
training
podcast topic. Hey.
Yes, it's a whole other podcast topic. It's building good habits, which we will also get into. Somebody please note that down. And now,
Yes, I
there,
won't. I'm not prepared to note things down.
yes, preparation. If we do this podcast, I think it's actually going to be super helpful if some of us just sit there with a pen and paper, note down things while they're not talking, because there's three of us, and it's going to be efficient if one or two of us note down stuff. So, would you mind trying that out next time?
Sure. I mean, we could start wrapping this up. I mean, everything on my end is running out of energy and time.
Yourself,
Sorry, what? I didn't catch that was because of the
including
mic.
I didn't
What?
catch that either.
Yeah.
so everything on your end is running out of energy and time. Is it you
Oh,
as well? You are
Oh,
running out of energy.
don't worry about that, Summer. I'm like that battery that should have gone dead like 2 months ago and it's still kind of working and nobody has an idea of how it's working. But don't question it. It's just there we go.
You know, you start off by telling me, "Don't worry," and then you tell me, "I should have been dead 2 weeks ago."
Uh, Impy, tag in.
you're an oxymoron.
Oh, for goodness, that's all I had.
He kind of is, indeedly. I would not say he's on the level of a paradox yet, but we'll get there. And one last topic to wrap things up, all right, guys?
Sure.
Sure.
Planning and preparation. What are the differences? Impy, you've been quiet for an awfully long time. Would you like to give us your share of thoughts on this topic? Or would you like some time first?
Well, first I'm gonna say that, since I disconnected twice, my audio wasn't saved.
Oh,
That's
no.
beautiful.
But I think, wait, I think this podcast saves everyone's audio, doesn't it?
That's what I'm hoping it does. So what we should have done is prepare by doing a test podcast.
Oh my God, we
Well,
never did
here's
that,
the
did we?
thing. We didn't plan to do this podcast.
For goodness sakes, I
We
hate both of
planned
you.
to do a whole other thing on the Discord server, which is not yet recordable. But unfortunately, some of our plans failed because we didn't prepare properly.
Yeah.
And that's just how life goes. You have to be prepared to take those chances. So this very podcast is already our backup plan, and it's working out pretty well for that. If you consider that
Yeah.
barely any of us ever did anything to prepare for failure, which is a good thing. You should not prepare for failure. I mean, you should prepare to avoid some levels of failure, but you should also prepare for so that's a whole other podcast topic.
Wasn't that a nice little saying? What was it like? Failing to plan is like planning for failure.
Oh yes, I know who said it.
I have no clue. It just popped into my mind.
Note that down, and we'll get to it on another podcast. And so, you guys talk while I note that down. Just
Okay,
let's
Impy, did you have a good breakfast?
well in the very warm
Breakfast.
world. So to wrap it up, tell us a funny thing that happened to you this week. Each of you, go ahead.
Each of me. Heck first.
A funny thing that happened to me this week. Oh boy. Oh my God, I don't have the same sense of humor as other people. Um, there, there were so many people in my goddamn apartment because my friend was graduating, and I was out with another friend, and freaking they got so wasted. I had to bring them back to my place and dump them in my tiny, horrible one-person bed. And because every other room in the apartment was filled, I just decided, oh, I'm gonna go out for a walk, and it was freezing and everything was cold, and I ended up sleeping on the staircase to my apartment.
So here's a TLDR for the story. You went to a party, you brought someone to your room with you, and then you dumped them and went for a walk.
Yes,
Clearly,
hilarious.
action impede.
It's really funny because I slept on the staircase for
Oh yes,
the
it is.
entire night.
Impede, you tell us.
I'm in a love triangle now.
Oh, see, we have the same sense of humor, MP.
Hold up, I don't think it was a joke.
Uh,
Was it the person we talked about?
so yeah, there's this girl in my Bible study that I think is pretty cool. I'd like to go out with her one day. But there's another
Skip the 6
guy.
summer.
Yeah.
There's another guy in my Bible study who lives about 2 minutes down from me on my same street, and we all
He
go
has
to
a
the
crush on
same.
you.
No, we all go to the same church, and their parents, her parents and his parents, are trying to set them up. So
Oh,
Ooh,
it's always
parents are
awkward when
evil.
parents get involved. Yeah. Ooh.
So you're
Oh, I
saying
get
they're
what.
planning their entire lives, even though the children aren't prepared for it?
a
Dang
little
it.
bit,
The 6
a
summer.
little bit.
Somebody stop him.
Yeah, and then so he kind of just didn't ask her out on a date, but he asked her like, "Hey, would you consider dating me?" And she said yes.
Ooh, okay.
So, and
Yeah, you
then
know
we
what you have to do, right, MP?
kill him.
Friggin'
Yes.
yes, I was
Yes,
gonna say
Bible study stuff.
bust his kneecaps, you know. It's like we can't expect
Take
God
care.
to do all the work, okay?
Yeah. Okay, but no, and then I was talking to him and I was like, so, because it's going to end up like the parents are in it, so they're going to be making sure that they like see each other. They've planned things already. And so I was like, you're going to be seeing her more. You have my blessing. But I actually
Aw.
I never got a solid answer from him what he was going to do. So,
Well, the heart wants what the heart wants, right? I don't
So,
think. I mean,
yeah, I was like,
if she,
I'm sorry, I don't think imperfect was referring to those kind of things.
well, I
Like,
mean, my point is that if they do end up being together, right? That has nothing. Well, it shouldn't have anything to do with parental interference, right? I mean, if they truly liked each other like that, then there was nothing you
well,
could do
the-
anyway.
I'll just
So
note that down because it's another podcast topic, parents.
yes, yes.
perfect. I don't know if you guys can hear the difference, but my headset just gave up.
We're almost done here. So to
Yep.
wrap things up, what I'm getting from Impi, sorry, he has a girl at his Bible study, which he finds really cool, and that's awesome. I really wish you guys the best, no matter what happens. And
Mhm.
he told the guy, bless you, and the guy didn't respond, which is really rude, because you respond when somebody says, bless you. Now, here's the thing.
I
Heck,
like that.
I have a story about you, and I'll start off with that, because you're really bloodthirsty. Remember, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks back, we were talking about our favorite creators who are dead, and then you mentioned the guy who wrote the Aragon books, who started at the age of 15, has been at it ever since, and it's a really impressive story.
Yep.
And you also said, "Oh wait, we were supposed to be talking about dead people. I have till next Tuesday to murder him."
Oh my God. Don't
Which is
bring this
always
up,
what you want
Summer.
to do what you
That was an
And
unrecorded
this
session.
week again, Imperfect needs love wife. Well, just bust the nice kneecaps. Yes,
I mean,
that's
look,
what we do over here.
I'm not saying violence is the answer to everything in life. I'm just saying violence is like it's just really convenient, okay?
Yes, it is. If there's this quote, if violence doesn't solve your problems, you're simply not using enough. But
Not
that's
enough.
a
Yeah.
different topic again. Podcast topic we could discuss. Damn it, we're getting so much out of this one already. Violence. So talking about violence, here's my story. I was not actually violent, but as some of you might know, I do taekwondo classes about twice or thrice a week. And last Friday we had our Christmas celebration. So to give some background, we have our taekwondo club with three other clubs together. One of them is just gymnastics, one of them is aikido, and one of them is hapkido. There's also a karate club, and we were all doing a big celebration together in our very own dojo. It was really nice. I got to talk to a bunch of new people, someone called Flo and someone called Babsi. And as you guys can see, my memory has greatly improved. And that's the first thing I wanted to share because I'm really, really bad with names. I'm like the worst. But after I've gotten this new trick of how to remember names, it's just super easy, barely an inconvenience to do this. And that's been enjoyable as anything to me because people really like being talked to by their name. Uh, that's one story. And the other one is I found out that my Taekwondo grandmaster, who is an architect as a main job and Taekwondo grandmaster as a second job, has also been into oil painting. And I'm really looking forward to talking to him about that a bit because he's an artist. I think that's where we wrap up things today. Uh, most people can be artists. People's stories are really interesting. And just one more overview over everything we talked about today. So, preparation is the key to living a successful life. You guys tell me, what do you remember from today's podcast? Imp, you go first this time. Ha! He didn't expect that. He wasn't prepared.
I was not prepared. Show up early, be on time.
Be a pleasure to work with you.
Yes.
Yes. The 3 rules of success. What else do we have?
Oh, my turn, or are we still going with
Yes, your turn.
Ah, perfect. Well, I mean, there's a key difference between planning and preparation, and I feel like preparation is always more of a lifestyle choice of having just good habits and being able to deal with what life throws at you. And planning is, planning is actually taking the time out of your day to build a step-by-step plan, yeah, for what you're gonna do.
As
Right.
far as I understood it, planning is a step of preparation.
Ah, ooh.
Note that down. We'll get into it in one of the other podcast episodes.
Totally. I would write it down, except I'm sitting in the dark.
Same.
You can write in the dark. You don't need light to write, or you can note it down. Yeah, no, I'll write it down in a second. Just write me a Discord message to remind me. And you guys have covered most of the things. So preparation is a lifestyle, rules of success. One more thing is you can always prepare, and a mage is one who prepares because preparation is like magic. It solves your
Yeah.
problem.
And you want to be a mage, right? Mages are cool, so freaking prepare stuff.
I believe that is everything. I wish you all a most marvelous and enjoyable Christmas time. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever this comes out. And also a lovely morning, evening, afternoon. This has been drawn to us. I'm Summer. This was Imperfect. That was Heck. I wish you all a lovely evening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Impy, do you want to say goodbye?
I pressed
All right.
I pressed the X button.
Impy doesn't want to say goodbye. I'll do it for him. Impy says bye.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Wait.
Okay, I'm gonna press the X
Wait.
button.
It's not stop. It's not stopping.
It's not stopping.
Oh my god, yeah, it froze. Goodness
Well,
gracious.
I think
Oh
they didn't
goodness,
quite
can you
prepare.
still hear me?